Forgive me, my voiceover is a little crunchy because right before I recorded, I accidentally swallowed a full mouthful of sparkling water down the wrong pipe and my entire windpipe is fizzy now. But Elder Scrolls Arena, I've been in the trenches. I've been grinding for a few weeks. This is a very easy game to play in lectures and college is making it, so that's really the only thing I've been doing lately. For those of you who don't know, Elder Scrolls Arena is the first game in the Elder Scrolls series that came out in the 90s, and trust me, back in the 90s, you didn't explore dungeons, they explored you. Usually without permission, and usually from behind, if you catch my drift. You ever played Doom, the original? Well, yeah, imagine those graphics layered on top of Skyrim, where every enemy one-shots you, you can't see 3 feet in front of your face, and the hot cat ladies aren't even canon yet. This is TES Arena, the overlooked oldest child of the Elder Scrolls series, and secretly an absolute gem that needs to be talked about. Only in this boomer of boomer games can you be feeling like an untouchable god at level 3 as you one-shot every enemy in the dungeon, skip walls to skip the entire hallway, while also having you in a locked-in Tyler 1 stance every time you hear a wolf sound effect that's way too loud to be legal under the Geneva Conventions. Magic may be OP, but even the most arcane wizard tomfoolery is useless against a nearly invisible ghosty fella who's been blocking you for... I'm still choking on fizzy water. But wait till you see the spiders. Oh, sorry, I should preface. In my modding of this game to get different keybinds, I somehow got the files from a Nexus mod I never downloaded that replaced every spider with hot babes who paralyze you. Try playing this game in public with 4 of these attacking you every 30 seconds. You'll get some weird looks and hopefully not a fist bump. Luckily, I figured out how to delete the babes and revert them back to the 8-legged paralyzing critters I've grown so fond of, but now I have no clue why I'm finding gold on their corpses. And despite me being on the older side of the Zoomer generation, I have a lot of nostalgia for Arena, even though it's actually not made when I was young or even alive. Well, it's actually the reason this channel exists, slightly, because my first ever foray into content creation was actually streaming TES Arena on Twitch while I was a young whippersnapper. And eventually Twitch streams faded out, I did YouTube instead, and here we are. But long story short, Arena is looked on with much fondness for me, despite being a terrifying game that makes my tummy hurt because the troll.wav sound effect is 100 decibels higher than it needs to be. But hey, on the bright side, you Sky Babies in the audience have an excuse to play this because you can actually visit Skyrim in this game, including hit locations like Whiterun. And trust me, if you're playing this game and see white, run. Any white enemy is low-key really hard to kill, trust me. Not skin color, that sounded really bad out loud. I meant white goblins and ghosts. Speaking of Sky Babies in old TES games, one of our Discord members has this adorable video of her playing Daggerfall while her boyfriend is playing Skyrim for the first time. Fellas, we've converted another naive soul to the TES fanbase, but anyway, join the Discord. It's fun and epic, invites in the description. But are you still not convinced to give Arena a shot? What if I told you it's free? Still need convincing? Well, if Babe Spiders weren't quite your style, what about this jacked blacksmith? I can't decide if I should make a JoJo reference or an Arnold Schwarzenegger joke, but either way, this guy's yoked out of his mind, and I think he might be drinking protein shakes made out of orc babies. Why do I say that? Because orcs aren't actually playable, and only seen in dungeons. Don't worry though, that's where they belong. Hashtag Orsinium is a propaganda campaign, don't let the green beans live in our province. Any orc fans typing their hate comment after that joke, just check out the video I made on your favorite Elder Scrolls race, I'm sure you'll hate me even more. Was that 2 self-promotions in 30 seconds? That's kinda awkward. Would now be a bad time for a sponsored segment? Well, don't worry, I don't have one. Psych! This video is sponsored by this comically generic Dollar General Gandalf who looks like he's spitting some fire bars. This guy's money was generously donated to me after I paid him thousands of gold for him to tell me that the 30 magic bracelets I found don't actually do anything. But on the bright side, he sponsored this video, so don't forget to check out your local Mages Guild to buy a spell that your enemy's search history will be displayed above their head in public. Speaking of overpowered spells, TES had a spellcrafter even in this OG game, and believe me, you can abuse it harder than a... Okay, there's not actually anywhere good for that joke to go, but long story short, if you're using 90 intelligence point big brain like this goofy guy on the box cover, wooga! Okay, don't get distracted on your way there. Anyway, just customize the spell to do decent damage that goes up 25 points every level, and by level 5, you're already one-shotting every single enemy in the entire game. But is that not enough? Just use your spells to mine through dungeon walls like it's Minecraft or box enemies in by building walls. Still not your speed? Just use the Paralyze spell against the spiders disguised as hot ladies and use their own paralyzation against them. Just don't make sure you do something that'll get you reported to Mages Guild HR. I think HR is pretty distracted though because pretty much every Mages Guild got robbed in Tamriel, and it's apparently the job of our random escaped convict to solve. Spoiler alert, the main story is a 30-hour sequence of you fighting a stolen tablet in a dungeon, or in order to go to the real dungeon to collect the sussily described staff piece, why is it throbbing, Rinse and repeat 7 times, and then 7 more times because you forgot to save and fell in lava, and boom, you win Arena. Soul sucking? Yes. Just like my ex? Also yes. Low-key a hidden gem I wish more people would play? Not like my ex, but also yes. Personally, I think this game is best enjoyed for however long you want before you think you've seen it all. Beating it is definitely not required to experience everything. Sure, there's some cool late-game dungeons, but it might not be worth a dozen more hours of the same-ish gameplay loop, especially if your playstyle hasn't changed since level 5. Looking at you, Barbarian Barry. Other than the main story, I wouldn't really recommend doing the other content. It's mostly procedurally generated and not super fun. Maybe just do a couple quests early game to get your level up so you can get the main story going a little easier. I will say though, there is some Daedric artifact quests. I didn't really deal with them until late game, but I did end up getting the Ebony Blade, which is pretty cool. First, you have to talk to an NPC a bunch of times to get the rumor you want, then find the inn they're talking about, then receive the quest, then you have to go to a dungeon that was 5 layers deep. There's 5 floors to the dungeon. Find the map that points you to a different dungeon, go another 5 floors deep, and then get the Daedric artifact. They are also stupid overpowered though, so maybe it's worth it. Overall, I just kind of wanted to beat the game, so I got the Ebony Blade and called it good, didn't really bother getting any of the other ones, but that was pretty cool. Just be careful not to break your Daedric artifacts, because they can do that, and it would suck to do that much work just to lose it, so be careful out there. And no, before you ask, even though there is artifacts, there is no Azura. I'm sorry Azura Gooners, you're going hungry again. So let's whip out the Taco Treatise and slap it against the table and throb it a couple times, just like the Staff of Chaos, because it's time to rate this game from 1 to 10. These numbers fluctuate a ton and probably aren't useful at all, but for the sake of lizard brain like big number, I'm gonna rate it anyway. Let's go for 7 out of 10. I love it, but it's not exactly aging like wine, more like cheese that I sneezed on, which is to say aging well and poorly kind of at the same time. Overall, if you like TES, give it a shot. It's free, you can visit every province, and it's cool to see the series' origin. And there you have it, I really hope you enjoyed. Big thanks to our channel members Frog Wizard and Rex for voting for this video, and also shoutouts to Rex for being an elite taco, so he also got to choose this super cool custom taco emoji. If you guys want perks, go and become a channel member. Also, here are the people who answered the question at the end of the last video. My question for you at the end of this video is, what is your favorite old game? You can decide how old means. While you're at it, go ahead, like and subscribe. If you made it this far, you'll probably enjoy the Daggerfall streams I'm doing soon, so you don't want to miss those. Anyway, I'll be seeing you next time. Taco out, talk out. That'll never not be cringe.
I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. I'm a god. How can you kill a god?